Hello there, my adorable internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. What have we got here? Well, at the moment it's a blank screen, but I remembered an old project of mine, basically a mod that I did for a game called Kenshi, which is a very unique game. Maybe one day we will play it. And it was basically a map recreation, but well, I made some sacrifices back then. But the point is that I've learned a lot about creating fantasy maps, and it's really amazing. And there is no right or wrong way to do a fantasy map. And there are actually websites. There is this one called Incarnate, which does amazing detailed fantasy maps, and you can use it for free for personal use. And if you want to do it for like a game or anything like that that is commercial, you have to pay a fee, which is not very high, and it's really well made. But what I've chosen to do is, first of all, I've generated a terrain and some waves. Now, well, basically, I just drew some shapes. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. And it looks like this. This is the terrain. These are the smaller islands. And then I've chosen to create the waves of out here. This is gonna be quite chunky, so I'm not sure how well it's gonna perform. But anyway, so I've did um, this idea of a wave. I'm not even entirely sure if we're gonna stick to it. Gonna be interesting though. I do have some ideas. So one way we could do this is one entire path. And I thought that one way we could do this is use the spray tool. And we're going to use clones. And okay, let's see how it will look. We're going to probably have to place them in a separate folder. But technically, it looks horrible. What did I do here? Okay, maybe this one is too big. Let's try a 5. Okay, then the scale is too large. So let's try, I don't know, 25%. Maybe a 15%. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Though we'll have to go a tiny bit. Hmm. Well, this is one way we can do it, although we would have to mask most of the issues. Hmm. So the advantage of having a clone is that if we go in here and we somehow chose to, oh snap, I've combined them. Snap. So if I try to do this, all of them will have this. But maybe I shouldn't have done that. Because initially they were like, because you see, you cannot edit this. Hmm. And they were like lines. They were borders actually. So we could manipulate them better. Well, it's not bad. What I would do different is then select all of these, group them, And here, put them under the terrain. And for the terrain, which is this one, I'm going to select everything. And this is still a border right now. So I could go and select, I don't know, sort of a white color. Did I did I mess with the opacity? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I did mess with the opacity. And maybe we should do... Oh, come on. Yeah, something like this. I don't know, maybe even something like this. But I don't know. I think working with the spray can like this, it's interesting. I really love this style of doing waves like this. But you can see it's copy pasted, and even it's far more better if you do it by hand, but it takes a long time to do everything around. But the result is just so good. Although you can hack it like this. But I am thinking that instead of doing this, which will undoubtedly make our file much larger than it has to be, we could do something smarter. We can select all of the islands, duplicate them, and then I will remove the interior color, and I want to combine them all into one single path, which okay, so it contains the border. Okay, that's really nice. And now what we want to do to this thing is go here and life path effects, get this. And I'm thinking of going with a rather large offset. Maybe 100? Maybe even larger than 100. Let's try 150. What about 200? I don't know why it's creating these deformations here. Okay, let's try... Let's try 250. Actually, I don't know. What else do we have here? Beveled. Trying to get rid of these artifacts. Which I can't seem to do. Okay. Nothing works. Literally nothing. Well, let's see what happens if we play with this. Nothing. Let's go to 100 back. Well, I kind of want them to join, so 150 should be better. I don't know what this meter is, but it's literally not doing anything for us. Maybe 125, let's see. I think we can live with this and we can clean it up as we go. The point is that this will act as our shoreline. And we could even do it better than this. Like, let's imagine, I'm gonna disable these waves. Let's imagine that we do the background. Oh, not of the page, sorry. Of the desk, sorry. Something, ooh, I kind of like this. Maybe even deeper blue. But it needs to be a bit saturated. Something like this. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay, so let's say this is the background. This is the sea. Then in here, they will still have to modify some things. For this one, I'm gonna combine it to apply the... yeah, so we still have some elements inside, but we can remove them. Although this one looks interesting here. This one as well. This one I can remove. Remove. Just a small bit of cleanup. We can even clean it even better than this by simplifying the whole elements. And creating less nodes. Like for example here, this isn't very good. And neither here. But before I even go to that part, here as well. Okay, so let's try to simplify it, see if we can get anything out of it. Gives us more stuff to clean up, I suppose. Then again, okay, so let's remove this and this. Let's see where else. This one looks weird. I don't know what's happening in here. We can remove some of this. We simplify it by hand. And we could do technically the same over here. I could just push it up a bit. And voila. Yeah, quite a bit of, whoops, of a conundrum with these polylines and stuff. Here we can also get rid of these extra elements. We can push it like so and like so. Well, maybe like so. I don't know. Okay, over here we have another issue. Bam wham. And this looks okay. Remove this, remove this. This as well. So yeah, not so straightforward as it looks. But then again, with patience, we can create great results. Now again, there are better tools out there. This is just for the purposes of showing what Inkscape is capable of. Because Inkscape is indeed very capable of many things that people don't give it credit for. It needs more credit. Okay, this one here. And this one. And this one. And I suppose that's it? Nah. How could we escape so easily when we have so many more of them to clean up? Oh gosh, how many are there? Okay, I can live with that. But I cannot live with this or this. Ah. Oh, come on. Have mercy on me. This one as well. I suppose this is okay now. Let's just take like a fast look around. Okay, I kind of like how it looks. I messed up with something here. This is the original page. Shoot, how do I go back? Oh, I have to make it the same color. Damn it. Ah. What? Oh. Eh. Whatever. We do not see it anymore. Anyway. So, now that we have completed this, I am thinking of using this. So we'll remove the border and we'll create something like this for now. We'll put it underneath. Now let's use the same background. And what happened? Hey. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, okay. So why did you do this? But it's not applying the color for some reason. Did I not? Yeah, I did. Oh, what is wrong with you? Oh, the alpha. I knew something was wrong. Okay, so remove this. Going to apply this, and we're going to push it something like, I don't know. Could even try some blurriness into it. Not too much. Maybe like a 5. A bit darker. Hmm. Maybe it needs to be. Oh, there we go. That looks somehow better. So that is the shape of our island at the moment. It's rather unique. So let's see, maybe we will play with the terrain. Let's try something more Earth-like. Mm, maybe a tiny bit towards the red. So this is our island in the middle of nowhere with its shores. Now I'm kind of curious. If I remove the blurriness, maybe a very light blur. Let's go with a 3. Mm, 4, 5. I don't know, between 4 and 5 there is a drastic change. Let's keep it at 4. So now we have to decide. So shallow water, let's call this. Now we can still add the waves in this part if we want to just create an extra layer, but I think that would be too much. And this looks nice. This kind of gives an idea of where could it be more depth or not. Yeah, I really like it. I really, really like it. We can also do an extra thing. So this one we can duplicate and let me try to make it even bigger. Like 100. Maybe let's try 300. Let's see how that looks. Definitely not what I had in mind. But the point is that if we do this something darker like this, and we push it, whoa, this doesn't look too great. well, well, what can we do? If I try to push it even harder, let's try 7,700. It's deforming like crazy, but now 500 should be okay. This is not a problem. The idea is that this one, if we combine it, we can fix it relatively easy. I know there's some very weird artifacts happening, but the point is that this one will be very dark, will be very blurry. And I can even reduce the opacity. Now, something like this kind of give it an idea that it's stretching underneath. Maybe less. And in this case, let's go to the shallow water. So this is underwater terrain. And for the shallow water, let's push it to 10. Nah, I don't know. Somehow it doesn't look good. So underwater terrain, maybe we will reduce it more to a 10 like this. I don't know, I'm trying to get that element that looks good. I suppose this should do. I suppose. I don't know. Now we have to kind of figure where we want rivers, where we want mountains. So what should our island have? I'm thinking like mountains, rivers, lakes. Although an internal lake would be kind of complicated to make at this stage. Not impossible, but I didn't take into account this when I did this, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do a specific type of lake. So mountains, hills, forests, rivers, lakes. And maybe in the range of mountains, maybe a volcano. Maybe we can do some ravines. I don't know if a waterfall might be appropriate. The idea that is that um, a map should be something as a reference. So you can do it however you wish, as long as it gives the reference of what is in that area. So we don't necessarily need to draw a waterfall rather than put a symbol of a waterfall. We shall see. Then maybe we can do like villages and towns and towers. There's so many options you can put on a map. But I think first of all, for this session at least, we should figure out where we want to put the mountains. So let me rename this base terrain. I'm gonna put you all into the island. Um, for now, I'm just gonna put those waves in the background, the one that I draw initially, or maybe I'll get rid of them entirely, I'm not sure. So now on the island, we want to, I don't know, let's draw some basic shapes to see where it would look nice to have some mountains. So we could do, I don't know, a mountain area somewhere like so. It doesn't need to make much sense. It just needs to be the base idea. So let's draw it a bit more like this. So that would be one mountain range. We could also go something like this. And then something along like this. So it's like a mountain pass. You have to balance it out. See where you want to have. If you want to have more mountains, less mountains, that's not necessarily the idea. So here we could leave it open. Maybe create some cities and ports and roads. And here there could be like more mysterious parts. It's like a natural path. But here we can also add more mountains. Just for the hell of it. Now let's see, we could add some forests. So let's say there would be a majority of a forest. It doesn't have to be uniform. Like so. So let's make this sort of greenish. Oh, that's a very bright green. Something like that. So we could add another forest around here. That's going between these mountains. Forest over here. Of course, you can do the density much smaller and cram in more elements. You can do another forest over here. we could do hills. So let's say there would be some hills over here. And let's do them sort of like this yellow. And we can have more hills in between this place. We can add some extra hills over here. These are just for reference. We'll remove them as we go. And we can add some rivers. Now with rivers, it's gonna be a bit more complicated. But let's say that we want a river from over here, going through the forest, and it reaches, well, rivers should be more like this. They could also be more direct, but I don't know. I don't know. Oops. And we can do it wider at one entrance or in the middle and so on. So we can play with the width. So that's one river. It could be thicker, it could be thinner. Then you could have another river that goes from over here all the way over here. We'll play with the shapes. We can add another river going from one side over here. And then we can start one from the forest. And the rivers must lead somewhere, so of course we can drop them somewhere here. Here we can do the volcano if we wish. Or maybe it could be a broken volcano and inside it could have like a water, like a lake. Here we could leave it open because the shoreline could have some stuff. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 rivers should be enough, I suppose. Now I can go with one more if we really need to. You know, usually cities and encampments and so on usually build around water, bodies of water, because it's a source of life for grains, for people, and so on. And then we could probably drop in a lake somewhere here. Although the lake would still have to be have some sort of shape. So we can go with damn, that's kind of bright. Let's, yeah, something like this. Probably would still have to play with the shape to make it look more natural. Ah, that looks more or less like a lake. We shall see. We shall see. So we have one lake here. We can do another lake somewhere else. But more or less, this is how our base map looks like. Now I'm gonna stop this episode here because I have to kind of figure out what type of symbols I want to make, how I'm gonna make the mountains. That will require a bit of testing around. I'll have to play with the dimensions a bit, so I'm not making them too big. With the trees, or maybe we'll make some interesting forests that I will just see. It's all about your imagination because right now it looks like a scrambled omelette with stuff on it. But once we go into detail and put all these smaller arranged elements around it, it would start to shape more like a map. So yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye 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 bye.